Hello, welcome to another edition of Sea of Tranquility. This time representing Sea of Tranquility, you have Davey Cretin of Cretin's Classics and Jack Toledano of All or Not According to Jack, normally. But tonight we are full-fledged members of Sea of Tranquility, representing this great channel. And off we go with another album homework assignment. So welcome everybody and welcome, Davey. How you
Thank
doing?
you. Excellent. Thanks for having me. And thanks to Pete Pardo for having me as well.
Yes, I really appreciated that Pete allowed my buddy Ove to join and now my buddy Davey to join. As you know, Davey and I have a history. I'm talking even before I started my channel. I had Davey used to work at a store called Titus Oaks, and I'll let Davey touch on that in about a minute. So, Titus Oaks was an old Wetson's hamburger place. It was right on Old Country Road, right at the end of Levittown Parkway in
Yes.
central Nassau County. And I used to go there all the time, and I recognized Davey from being a guest on, writing in on my channel. Wait a second, Davey's the guy from Titus Oaks. So,
The old
anything you
record
want to
store.
add, Dave?
No,
Anything?
just that I worked there for a long time in Hicksville and the Huntington store too in Suffolk
Oh,
County.
oh, nice. Okay. I remember there was a Sam Ash over in that vicinity also, right?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. I think both are gone, and sadly. I
Yep.
mean, there aren't too many CD stores left. Uh, I'm actually down in Daytona Beach this week and possibly for the next few weeks. And I may actually do an episode at a place called Atlantic Records to, just to give the love to to the record stores of the area. And that's that. But anywho, let's talk about albums that we've assigned to each other. Uh, Davey's going to go first, and he's going to talk about an album that I discovered back in 1999. Was it when I had almost a heavy metal revival? I started to watch, or rather, I started to read this uh, site on the World Wide Web called Metal Reviews, and I basically learned about a bunch of great new metal bands. So, and this band being one of them, and I bought this album, and you know what? I was in a depression at that time, but when I put it on, I fell in love with the music right away. So it's a special one for me. So, Davey, take her away.
Jack gave me Hammerfall, Legacy of Kings. It is the second studio album by this Swedish power metal outfit. It's on Nuclear Blast Records. Came out September 28th, 1998. They recorded it from April to June in 1998, and it was recorded in Gothenburg, Sweden. Five members of the band you have, and forgive me if I mispronounce any of the band members' names. Joachim Cans on lead vocals, Oscar Dronjak on guitars and backing vocals, Stefan Elmgren on lead guitar, Magnus Rosen on bass, Patrick Raffling on drums. Now, this album did chart in some places, unlike the album that I gave Jack, but more on that shortly. It hit number 34 in Austria, number 15 in Germany on the German album charts, 71 in Japan, and 15 in Sweden. They released one
Nice.
single from the record, the first song I'm going to talk about, called Heeding the Call, and that actually broke the top 50, coming in at number 48 on the German singles chart. So for a
Nice.
power metal band to do that, pretty good, very impressive. So
Awesome.
I'm going to do what Jack usually does on his channel. Going to go through each song and give it a rating, and then give my final rating for the whole album at the end. First song, like I said, Heeding the Call, 4.5 minutes. I like the opening drum salvo here into the guitar pick string scrape, and then the song comes in. The main verse in the melody, to me, is slightly reminiscent of Dawkins Into the Fire. But I don't think the guys ripped that off from Dokken. I just don't see these guys really listening to
Yeah.
Dokken. But to me, it just recalls Dawkins Into the Fire a little. I don't think it's a direct lift, just a coincidence. Very catchy chorus, makes me want to sing along. It's a sing along chorus. Musically, like a lot of power metal, I hear the Halloween influence here. I already said that the single hit number 48. Really good guitar solos here by Elmgren, and I like the whoa whoa sections. Reminds me a little of Iron Maiden. I think
Yep.
this is an excellent opening track, and I'm giving this a 4.25 out of 5. Moving
Okay.
on, track two, Legacy of Kings, 4 minutes, 13 seconds. Big Iron Maiden vibe on this song to me. I like the call and response in the chorus section by Cans and Dronjak. They swap vocals. Guitar solo 3/4 of the way in is a nice touch compared to the last song where it came in halfway through. So I like the difference there. And I give this song a 4.0, so 4.0. Track three, Let the Hammer Fall, which I was singing to Jack earlier, 416. And I neglected to mention so far that I like Can's
Song
voice.
length, you mean, was 416,
Yeah,
correct?
416. Yeah, the length of the song. I give my song rating at the end. So I really like the singer's voice. I really like Joaquin Can's voice. I think it fits the music very well. It has that strong masculine power metal vibe to it. You get some distinct drumming here and guitar work that I think add to the overall flavor of the song. Another fine guitar solo, and then you get more of the whoa-wows, which I was surprised because it reminded me of Heeding the Call that 2 songs later they're doing the whoa-wow chants again, which I sort of took a little bit off from. And I wish the chorus had more meat on the bone than just Let the Hammer Fall. I wish there was more to it. It's not a bad song by any stretch of the imagination, but even though I was singing it to Jack earlier, I'm ranking this a 3.75 for track number
Ouch.
three.
Okay.
Sorry. Hey, I didn't give it a 1. I didn't give it a 2. It's almost a
Yeah.
4. So it's still a
Right.
good song. Track number 4, Dreamland, one of the longer songs, actually the longest song, 5:42 in length. I love the opening guitar line with the pinch squeal harmonic, and the frenetic drum work on the song is really good. More Halloween vibes here for me. It's got a sturdier chorus than the last song that I mentioned. I like the tempo change at the 3 minute 45-second mark. Elmgren's solos here may be my favorite so far on the record out of the first 4 songs. Good use of dynamics in this song, and I really like the ending. I'm a big fan of the ending. So to me, this lifts the album back up. I'm giving Dreamland a 4.25. Last song on side one of the vinyl, the first half of the record, Remember Yesterday, 5 minutes and 5 seconds long. And the fast pace of the album slows with an old school ballad here. Usually on most records, the ballad comes maybe in the third or fourth slot, but here you have to wait till the fifth slot because it's power metal. Like a cross between a heavier Skid Row, maybe because they say yesterday in it, or I Remember You, actually. It's I Remember You is the Skid Row song. So maybe when he says Remember Yesterday, that's why it reminds me of Skid Row. And Iron Maiden as well. I think it's a welcome diversion in the running order to me. Maybe I would have had this at track 4 instead of track 5, but track 5 it is. I like the work of the rhythm section on the song, and you could hear Rosen's bass and Raffling's drums, and he has some awesome accents here that just add to the song overall. Very stately guitar solo from Elgram and powerful vocals from Cans. So you can't go wrong with this one. I think this is a great song, and I'm going to give this my highest ranking so far, 4.50 for Remember
Nice.
Yesterday. Moving on to side two of the record, at the end of the rainbow, a little over 4 minutes, Judas Priest comes to mind on this song to me. Total Judas Priest
I
vibe,
love this song.
because
Yeah.
you have that churning beginning, and it just puts me in a Judas Priest headspace. Excellent bass work from Rosen at the beginning of the song, the way it's churning. Reminds me of something off, is it Grinder? Is it from British Steel? I got a total British Steel vibe from this
Uh,
song.
The Rage, I believe.
It might be The Rage. Okay. Just,
Yeah.
I hear Total Judas
That
Priest.
starts
At,
with Ian Hill, at the beginning. That
and you
doo
don't
doo
get
doo
much Ian Hill
doo doo doo. No, you don't.
on anything after 1980 from Judas Priest. So it's
Right.
good that you could hear the bass here. I like the pre-chorus on the song that leads into the chorus. You get a spiraling guitar solo from Elmgren on this song. And the song just makes me want to raise my goblet of ale and sing along. Because one of the first times I was listening to this and I was drinking my coffee from my X-Men mug, check out Comic Book Geezers, Pete's other channel on YouTube. I watched that. X-Men mug. So it just makes me want to pick up my goblet of ale and drink some beer along and sing along to the song. So I think another really good song here. I like the Stark ending. That's a little different, just ends very abruptly. I'm giving it the end of the rainbow a 4.0. The next song is actually a cover song, the only cover song of the 10 on the album. It's a song by Pretty Maids called Back to Back, shortest song on the record, 3:39 is the length of the song. And I wrote down pretty, no pun intended, standard fare to me. Good guitar work, but the best part of the song to me is the guitar solo section. I think this takes the album down a little. 3.5 for this song for Back to Back. And I think with the Pretty Maids, from what I remember from them, their big song was Future World back in the day. They had a keyboard player like Stradivarius, a power metal band with a keyboard player. I used to listen to Stradivarius back in the day and Rhapsody. So I am familiar with the power metal genre, not as familiar as Jack is, but I think I'd like a keyboard player in this band. It would just add a lot to me. I'm a prog fan, classic rock
Yeah.
fan, but I think it's probably missing the keyboards. And if I went to hear the
I
Pretty
don't know.
Maids version,
Wouldn't do it for me.
see, and that's the difference
Yeah.
between us. I think I'd like to hear the Pretty Maids version just to hear the use of keyboards in the song. Moving on to track 8, Stronger Than All, 4.5 minutes. And I like the way the guitars drop in and out during the verse sections here, allowing you to hear the rhythm section. You could hear the drums, you could hear the bass. I like that. That's a nice added touch on this song. Maybe at this point of the album, track 8, maybe some ear fatigue is setting in for me. I like the musical interlude in the midsection that catches my ear, along with the guitar solo. So it's better than the Pretty Maids cover. I'm giving Stronger Than All a 3.75.
Oh
And
wow. You're killing
sorry.
me, man. That's one of my favorite songs on the
Ah,
album. Yeah.
Moving on, track 9, Warriors of Faith, 4 minutes, 45 seconds. You get more breakneck speed power metal on this song. I like the chorus, like the work of the rhythm section also, especially in the middle of this track. Elmgren peels off another rapid fire, get it, rapid fire, solo, two-thirds
Got
of
it.
the way through. So I like the fact that the guitar solo is not in the middle. It's you have to wait for it a little to get there. To me, this is a decent song. It's not standout. 3.5 for this one, too. The last song on the album, the Fallen One. And the first time I listened to the album, I just figured it would end with a bang. And then I hear piano all of a sudden. And I think, what the heck? Where's this coming from? I couldn't even find the credit for who plays the piano. But to me, it's another welcome diversion, power ballad with mint use of dynamics on this song. So this song really caught my ear. Elmgren has a really emotive guitar solo, and kudos to the band and points to the band because the piano goes throughout the song from beginning to end. It just doesn't stop during the chorus or during the guitar solo. You hear the piano throughout, which is a great plus to me. And to me, this is another Dave fave. I'm giving this song, the last song, the Fallen One, a 4.5. So when I add up all my scores, comes out to 40 divided by 10. I'm giving this album a 4, which
Okay.
would be an 8 out of 10. So it's a good rating for something I've never
Yeah.
heard before. First time
Right.
listen. And I've played it over a half dozen times since Jack and I spoke, and he gave me this particular homework assignment. So my rating is a 4. I like it.
Okay. Good. I mean, granted, it's not going to break any new ground, or it's not going to sell like, say, Metallica or AC/DC sells here in the US, but you know
No.
what? These are these are good riffs. I mean, it's good vocals. You can't go wrong with this band, I think.
And
And
you're
they were
right. I didn't give credit to the guitar player. He's the
yeah,
main writer on all the songs, Oscar Dronjak.
right.
He
Did
co-wrote every song except for two of them. No, except for the Pretty Maids cover song, track seven, back to back. He co-wrote everything else on the album.
now if
So
you
I think
got
he's a
one,
good writer.
okay, right. Okay, cool. Now, if you got one of the special editions, which I did back in the day, it had some extra songs after the original 10, and one of them it was a live version of the song Stone Cold, which is another favorite of mine. I don't know if you listened to it.
I listed them, but I did not listen to the bonus
Okay,
tracks.
so that's okay, but go back
And
and listen to it when you get a chance, because
okay, and they also have a few cover songs in the bonus tracks. A
right.
band called Picture, they cover a song called Eternal Dark.
Yes, that's
Speaking of,
another great song. Yeah.
I mentioned Halloween before. They cover the great I Want Out, so I'm very curious to
Oh,
hear that. And from Richie Blackmore's Rainbow, Man on the Silver Mountain, they cover.
right.
So I will
Well,
go back and listen to those songs.
I'm mainly familiar with the two I mentioned. Strong, no, uh, what Eternal
Stone
Dark
Cold.
and Stone Cold. Yeah, which yeah, which it's a live version, and he speaks to the crowd in Swedish. Of course, it's obviously performed somewhere in Sweden. But okay, so enough about Hammerfall. So I have seen them two times in my lifetime. Once I
Nice.
saw them at the old what was it, on 42nd Street, BB King's. Another time I saw them at Irving Plaza. Great, yeah, two great venues to see a show. But I
I've seen
remember,
shows both those
yeah,
places.
I remember I was like and it was standing room, but I was maybe two or three people from the stage, and they crowded me so bad, and I would say invaded my personal space so much after about half the show. I just said, fuck it. I went to the back so I can just,
Wow.
yeah. I mean, you know what? I got to see them close up for enough of the show, but and it was, in the days before cell phones and and everybody taking video recordings, which even today if you're a person who does that and you put it up on your YouTube channel, be careful, because copyright strikes can happen.
Oh,
One
I
did
know.
happen to me, yeah. So, but anyway, I digress. So on to um, the album that Davey assigned to me. Okay. So I'm down in Florida. I don't have the benefit of a second computer. So I am using my cell phone with this beautiful uh, background that
Judas
Sam bought for
Priest.
me. Yeah, why not? So, so that's why you might see this. So Davey gave me a band called Tiles, a prog rock band called Tiles, and it's an album called Fence to Clear from 2004. Prog rock band from Detroit, Michigan. The best I can compare them to, I would say they sound kind of like Styx vocally, but also Rush musically. Uh, Also, some hints of Queensryche and Spock's Beard, if I had to do more comparisons. Uh, Similar to Rush and Led Zeppelin, with only one guitar and keyboards shared by one person, where the bass really helps fill the sound due to one guitar player. So on to the album. And Davey was
If I
so
could just, I
yeah,
couldn't find
sure.
my copy of Fence the Clear, but I did find the follow-up, which is called Presence of Mind.
Oh, nice brain.
So this is their third studio album. And then I found the fourth studio album called Window Dressing.
Nice. I'll have to give
So
those a listen. But
I couldn't
Davey,
find my copy of Fence the Clear. And
before yeah,
just one last thing, the reissue on CD came out in 2004. Actually, Fence the Clear came out in 1997,
okay,
the
thank you
original
for that.
release date.
Thank you for that correction. Yep. Okay, so before I get into the album, I would like Davey to hold his notes up, and I'll tell you why.
My notes for what? For tiles?
No, no, for Hammerfall.
Oh,
And yeah, so yeah. Is that one page or is that multiple
well, that's my
pages?
cover sheet. And then I had my little song breakdowns on 2 pages.
Jesus, man. So this is what Davey did, and this is what I did. I did everything in a spreadsheet. You can't really see it, but it's
You
all,
can't.
yeah, but it's all basically in one view. So I try to keep things concise to basically like maybe one index card so that and you know, this way I just have touch points and then I can speak on it, off the cuff. But in any event, it's a spreadsheet that I took a picture of, and that's what I'm reading from. But
Okay.
while so the last video that I did with Ove album homework assignment, a few people commented about how Davey's very very meticulous with his notes. So I just wanted Davey to show his notes there. So thank you for that. Okay, so anyway, on to Fence the Clear. There's 10 songs. I was immediately smitten with the first song. This is going to get some very good ratings. Patterns. Starts off very jazzy, bass and drums. I gave that a 5-0, 5 out of 5. Yeah.
Wow. Right
I
off the
gave a
bat.
few.
Nice.
Yeah, yes. Uh, Beneath the Surface has an early rush kind of rhythm sound. Definitely not a bad thing. I gave that another 5. Yeah,
Starting off really well.
yeah. Cactus Valley, almost a 7-minute song. I gave not much to talk about. It kind of slowed the pace down a little, 4.5 out of 5, but still very, very a lot of talent in this band, and I'll get into the members afterwards. Another's Hand, more great bass, some similarities to both Getty and John Glasscock of Jethro Tull in this song. 4.75 out of 5.
Nice.
I love the bass, how well the bass done, and Jeff Whittle is his name. Uh, okay, so next, the Waiting Pool, acoustic throughout, really nice and melodic. I gave this 4.5. But and again, they're not playing any chords. It's all single notes throughout. You know, I mean, the chord shapes, but played one note at a time. But still very nice. Game show, more pro. I would say this is more prog metalish. So you go from the acoustic waiting pool to a more heavier song. Uh, I would liken this to a more proggy Iron Maiden. So this
Okay.
one, 4.75 out of 5. Fall in Pieces. I didn't rate this song because it was a 1.25 minute interlude in between songs. So no rating.
Okay.
Changing the Guard, 4.25. More of the same, pretty good. It was 7 minutes and 20 seconds. Gabby's Happy Song, 1 minute. I didn't rate that either. Usually these shorter interludes, because you know what? If they're bad, it can bring an album down, like kind of like happened when we did the album ranking of Shadow Gallery. It was regrettable that a few songs brought albums down that I thought were otherwise great. So, which gets us to the very last song, Checkerboards. Starts out with a mandolin rhythm, first 35 seconds or so, gets heavy from there. More really nice bass to fill the bottom. Definitely some Rush / Spock's beard similarities. Really loving the bass. Another 5-0. So, album as a whole, 4.75 out of 5.
Wow. That's better than I thought. And I just
Yeah.
assumed because the waiting pool is an acoustic song, you wouldn't like that one and you'd rate that low.
Well, you know what? I get it. You don't want everything to sound the same because if it does, yeah, it's a double-edged sword. People are going to find criticism no matter what. It's like you know, certain episodes of mine, certain episodes of Sea of Tranquility, certain episodes of yours. People like certain things where others don't, and albums of Judas Priest, for example. People want to hear the classic sound, whereas some people will criticize it. Oh, it sounds like the last five albums. Give me something different. Then if they give you something different, uh, they uh, they don't like it because you know what? It's too different than what they used to. But
Like I think you're the one that liked Nostradamus because it was different,
I like it. It's not my favorite album, but I didn't castigate it to death like a Chris Allo would have,
or a lot of people do with that album,
or like Kiss the Elder. A lot of people castigated that album, but you
which
know
I
what?
love, but it's proggy, so
You know what? It's got its positives and it's not so positives. I mean, I don't like hearing Paul Stanley sound operatic. That's just me.
okay.
But
To each his own.
it had elements that I liked. But Tiles, you know what? Definitely a really good band. It disappoints me that they weren't more successful. And it's funny, I gave Davey and I eventually are going to do this. Um, we're going to do an episode Sticks related, but I'm not going to say what it is yet. But I started working on Sticks content, and it's so funny that Davey gave me Tiles, and I'm like the vocals sound very similar to say you put Dennis DeYoung and Tommy Shaw together. So
He
yeah.
also sounds a bit like Getty to me. And the singer in this band is great. And his name is Paul Rarick. 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 Paul Rarick.
Uh-huh.
Great singer. What an amazing voice he has. And Checkerboard's the last song is probably my favorite song on the record, the one that's nearly 15 minutes long.
Well, again, that's what I like about it. Some of these songs, I like these songs that you can kind of get lost in them, but there's tempo changes that you can follow along. I mean, there's on the new Jethro Tull album, uh, Curious Ruminant, there's a song that's what, 12 to 14 minutes. I didn't like it at all because it just droned on and on and on. Whereas other things that Ian has done was, you know what, you kind of get lost in it where you have a 4 minute interlude, then it goes to another entirely different interlude, but it's still woven together and it's still an interesting journey.
Like
That's
Budapest. I love Budapest.
yes, which I talk about in one of my last 90-minute Best of Jethro Tull episodes with Steve Buckley. Yeah, poor Steve had a tragedy. His Eagles lost to the Cowboys yesterday in similar fashion to my Giants, but that's a story of another time. So, Davey, what do you have going on Cretan's Classics?
On Cretin Classics, I just put out a brand new video on Megadeth. I reviewed the
Nice.
two brand new songs that Megadeth just did. Another video I've done recently, I reviewed the brand new Spock's Beard album. So I go from classic rock, I go to metal. My taste is all over the place. Prog, so I do a little bit of everything.
I didn't
And
picture you as doing an episode on Megadeth, but that's it's all good,
I like the heavy, I like the classic, and I like the prog. So
right? So, and then you had another episode that you recently put up. Did you? Yeah,
Led Zeppelin.
that's
I
the
reviewed
one.
the new Led Zeppelin live EP,
Okay, cool.
just like the new Spock's Beard album.
Okay, very
So I'm old
nice.
school. I still buy CDs when I can. I like to show them when I review stuff on my channel.
Okay, very cool. You might be seeing a Spock's Beard review from me, and probably in the next week or so, because that's a band I've really grown to really like. Uh,
Excellent.
uh, I'm gonna have some more serious content that I'm gonna record tomorrow. I won't say what it is yet, but it's something that in this day and age that I find very disturbing, but something that I want to talk about. Uh, then and then there's another very disturbing thing that I want to talk about, and they're called the New York Giants. Yeah, it's about time I touch on what's going on with that team for better and for worse. But as for musical content, I'm still working on more 90-minute best of cassettes. Uh, I have something Judas Priest related that I'm going to be putting out within the next few days. I haven't done enough Priest content, but I'd like to do a little more from time to time, and AI is helping me come up with some ideas. Oh,
That's
that's
cool.
another thing. I did an episode of the ineptitude of the New York Giants. Now I want to do one of the ineptitude of the New York Jets. That's so stay tuned for that coming up. So
Ugh,
I've always prided myself, the name All or Not. I don't want it to just. I look, music is my first love, but I want to be able to intelligently talk about other topics as well. So just like Pete does with the Monsters Den.
right.
Yeah,
And you have Seinfeld content too on your channel.
I do. I I've been doing more short episodes with that, where I was actually in Roosevelt Field Mall about a week or two ago, and I did a top 10 on Seinfeldian foods that they would serve at Yankee Stadium if they had
Yep.
Seinfeld night.
I saw
I
that one.
I did it. I was literally standing right in front of Bloomingdale's, and not 50 steps away is a store called Hello. So I don't know if people caught that, but
I
very
did.
cool. Yep. But anyway, so that's what we have. So Davey gave me a great album, Tiles, Fence to Clear. I hope I gave Davey a really good one.
I enjoyed it
Hammerfall.
more than I thought I would.
Awesome. That's great.
But
So
we didn't ask each other the question.
I would
Would you
definitely buy
would
it.
you would
I
buy it?
would
Okay.
definitely buy it. How about you?
I would stream it to be completely honest, to be blunt,
Okay.
I would
Right.
stream Hammerfall. If I saw
Okay.
it used in a record store, I would buy it.
Right. Well, so there's a store here in Daytona Beach called Atlantic Records. I'm actually going to check it out and see if they have it used. Maybe I'll send you a copy, but
Okay, thanks.
yeah, but
Is that the record store you did the Judas Priest show from on your channel?
yes, yes. So basically what it is what the last album that they that Priest recorded, help me, what's the name of it?
Invincible Shield.
Invincible Shield. They had a an opening day party there. I mean, the band wasn't there, but they had basically they had an event there, and my dad came with me. I was honored to have my dad there, and I actually met some people that recognized me from Sea of Tranquility, which I thought was the coolest thing, and and it was nice to talk basically talk metal and have a good time. And even my dad got to see that the metal community is a really good community to be a part of. So
Definitely.
yeah.
And this is
So
a great album too, Invincible Shield.
yeah. Well, it was mixed at times for me, but what are you gonna do?
I love it.
Yeah, that's so funny that you like it more than I do, but that we all hear things different, and that's the whole idea of Sea of Tranquility, and shows that have been spawned from Sea of Tranquility, such as mine and Davies and countless others who have taken Pete's lead, and thanks to his mentorship, we've carried this thing forward that we love doing, and we just pray that people keep coming back and listening and enjoying what it is that we do. So in advance, I'm going to say thank you to everybody for that. And I'd like to. This probably will go up after Thanksgiving, even though we're recording it before Thanksgiving. So I'm going to wish everybody happy Thanksgiving, and depending upon when this is aired, I'm going to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah and Happy New Year.
And happy Kwanzaa and happy Festivus for the rest of us.
All right. All right. So for Davey Cretin and Jack Toledano, so long and have a happy holidays all. Take it easy.
Bye
Bye.
bye.